Morning, Applied Math. It's Nathan Reedy. How are you guys doing? Hope you're doing good. So this video is going to be one take, so I apologize if there are a few mistakes here and there, or maybe me getting my lines wrong. This video is for those of you who could not make it today. I wanted to make sure you're able to do your work from home, so that way you can earn some attendance. And plus, the video I shared with you guys last week on the metric ruler was not very good. So I'm hoping this will be a better one. So last time we were looking at the ruler. We were looking at inches last time. Oh, turn it upside down. We're looking at inches. So we were looking between 0 to 1 and basically what all those fractions were. This time we're looking at the other side of the ruler. We're looking at what's called the metric side, the centimeters. So now we're going to look at the lines between here. And if you thought the standard American ruler was difficult, well, then you're going to have lots of fun with this because this is so much easier. So here's this diagram I gave out in class. Now, if you didn't get the diagram in class, feel free to draw your own or just, keep this video handy. So let's look at what these lines mean. So instead of dividing the fractional lines between 0 centimeters and 1 centimeter, or just 1 centimeter, into sixteenths, they divided these into tenths. And this makes it so much easier. So here's 0 tenths, 1/10 of a centimeter, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, that big line right there, halfway between, 5 tenths. 6 tenths, and you guys can guess the rest, right? 7, 8, 9, 10. I was kind of reaching around my camera here to get the other two. 9 tenths, and 10 tenths, which is equal to 1. So we just say 1. However, I'm never going to use these fractions here because with tenths we can do something special. 1/10, if you guys might remember your decimal conversions, 1/10 is equal to 0.1 or 0.1. A lot of people ask me, why do I put the 0 here? Well, when you're reporting numbers, if you say 0.1, sometimes that decimal can kind of get lost. See, it's a very faint decimal. So if I put 0.1, I was like, oh, it's much more obvious that there's supposed to be a decimal right there. So that's why I used that 0 in front. So because of this relationship, 1/10 equals 0.1, I could just say, instead of saying 1/10 of a centimeter, I say 0.1 centimeters, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, and then just 1. And so this makes measuring with a metric ruler so much easier because I really just have to count the lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could do the same thing with an inch. So I want 1/16, 2/16, 3/16, but I would have to convert some of those fractions a little bit. But there's no conversion needed here. I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, and then 1. So again, it makes things so much easier. So that is how we measure with centimeters. However, I'm going to come down here because there's another way to look at these things. In the next week, we're going to look at unit conversions. One simple unit conversion I'm going to tell you right now is that 1 millimeter is equal to 0.1 centimeters. And I'm kind of spelling everything out, but if I want to abbreviate that, 1 millimeter, 1 mm, equals 0.1 cm. So on this chart down here, instead of writing centimeters, I'm going to write 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters, 4 millimeters. So I can call this space between right here, I can call that either 0.1 centimeters, or I can call it 1 millimeter. And because of this relationship of 1 millimeter being 0.1 centimeters, this also means that 10 millimeters is equal to 1 centimeter. So by the time I come here and finish this, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1 centimeter here, this is equal to 10 millimeters. Okay, so we can either think about these as 1/10 or 0.1 centimeters or a millimeter. So I'm going to show you guys how we're going to practice that in just a second, but I wanted you guys to see that. So if you guys want to freeze the video right there, so you have an idea. And let me go back up and so you guys, if you want to freeze the video here, you can do that as well. I didn't write centimeters after every single decimal because it's already implied that there's this big centimeter right there. Okay, so if this is January 16th for you and you want to get your attendance for January 16th, this is the worksheet I'm going to put online. Again, you don't have to print this out, that's why I numbered it for you. But what you're going to do with the worksheet, you're just going to pretend that this is your metric ruler and you're going to read the centimeters. So front is centimeters, and if I go over to the back, back is millimeters. So let's do the centimeters first, and then I'll show you how we'll practice the millimeters. So centimeters, so here, this is 34 centimeters plus 1, 2, 3 lines. Well, if I remember 3 lines, I just count 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So this would be 34.3. And again, don't forget your units, especially now since we're doing centimeters and millimeters. Okay. Next one down, I have, this is between 88 and 89. So it's got to be 88 point something because we're not quite to 89. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So to me, that looks like about 88.8 centimeters. Some of these lines are very clear. I could see how somebody might get 88.9. I'm not going to fuss if you are one off. But if you say something like 88.1, well, then it's clear you weren't reading it correctly. Instead of counting from here, I could have also counted backwards. I could have gone 89, 88.9, and 88.8. Or just if that's 2 from the end, I know that 2 from the end has to be 0.8 centimeters. So either way, if the old-fashioned way is just to count all these lines until I get there. Okay, 88. So that's 88.8 centimeters. So there are 8 problems on the front. I'd like you guys to do the rest on your own. Okay, now on the back, it says how many millimeters. So these are still centimeters. These are not millimeters. So we're going to have to convert either on paper or in our heads centimeters to millimeters. So before I write down the millimeters, let's just look at this and see how many centimeters this would be. So 26, somewhere between 26 and 27 to get the exact number, 26.1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be 26.4 centimeters. I'm just going to write it on top because that's not my answer. But remember this relationship that for every 10 millimeters is equal to 1 centimeter. What this means is I could take this number and multiply it by 10, and this will give me my millimeters. Now, when you multiply a number by 10, when there's a decimal, you can either do this in the calculator, or you can, do long multiplication. But when there's a decimal and I multiply it by 10, all I have to do is drag this decimal point one place over, and this would give me 264. So multiplying the decimal by 10 is really easy. Again, just move the decimal place one place to the right, and so this would be 264 millimeters. Okay, let's try one more together. So this one would be, again, I'm just going to do centimeters first so you guys can see it. It's 45 point, well, that looks really close. Just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to say 45.6 centimeters. Again, if you're off by 1 millimeter, I'm not going to kill you. Or you're not going to get point off. So 45.6 centimeters, and again, multiply this by 10, take that decimal place, bring a 1 over, so that would be 456 millimeters. And again, if you're not sure about that, just go to your calculator, say 45.6 times 10. See what you get. You should get 456. So this is 456 millimeters. So that's a really easy unit conversion. You just multiply by 10 or move the decimal one place over. So that is the first worksheet today. If you can complete this worksheet front and back, you will have attendance for today. Again, just write down the number, write down your answers on a piece of paper. If you want to do Google Doc, you can. I don't know if I can make this editable in a Google Doc, but I'm going to try my best to see what I can do. Let's see, I only have 5 minutes here, guys. So let me show you the other worksheet that I'm going to post online today. It is somewhere. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can pause the recording. All right, here we go. I found it. This is another measured out worksheet. So instead of reading, you're going to measure out the problems. So if you don't have a ruler at home, it's fine. You can wait till you get to school. If you do have a ruler at home and you want to take the time to do this, you can go ahead and give yourself a head start here. So I'm not going to do every single one, but I'm going to point out some ones that might be good to do together. So let's do this 13.3. So 13.3, I start from 0 here. Make sure you line up your 0 with the line. Don't line up the edge of the rule with the line. Line up the 0 with the line. And let's see, so I'm going to measure this out all the way to 13.3. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see it. 13.3 centimeters. The back side is going to be a mixture of centimeters and millimeters. So for example, the first one is going to be 59. Oh, you guys can't see that, got blurry. 59 millimeters. Got really blurry. Sorry about the blurriness, we're just going to go with it. 59 millimeters. You're going to have to trust me, I'm not going to mess with the settings. So 59 millimeters, divide by 10. So that would be 5.9 centimeters. So stop at 5.9. It's kind of an example right there. I think it went to 6 by accident, but you get the idea. All right, so I got to go now. Hopefully it helped you with the first 2 weeks' worksheets. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a good day.